You've lost that loving feeling.
Oh no.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
We are honored that for over 35 years have we not only come alongside you to sell, buy, and invest in real estate, we've come alongside you to build that loving feeling.
Yes.
And build your fun, build your faith, build your fitness, and even strengthen, heal, and flourish inside relationship. Building finance through real estate is part of that journey. And loving that house that you're living in is a piece of this conversation. We're going to explore today that if you can't get back that loving feeling in the house that you're in, how can we find the home that you will love?
How can we do it?
How can we do it?
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match.
That's what we do for a living,
That's what we
isn't
are.
it?
We're matchmakers.
Matchmakers. Matchmaker with you and real estate.
Yeah, we want you
in
to
a home.
fall in love with a house.
Absolutely. And so we talked about in segment A and B, what percentage is enough? Is it okay not to love my house much? Can I change my perspective? Ken says not really, but I can make some changes if I can't change my perspective. And are they adequate? And if they're simply not adequate and you answered the love it or leave it, and you said, yeah, let's leave it, then how do we go about that? What's the process? What's the journey like if we come to the conclusion, if you've come to the conclusion as you're listening to this episode, that it's time to make a move because there's no way you're going to get that love and feeling back?
Yeah, so if you've made that decision, then we're going to move right to a consultation as opposed to a clarity call. Clarity call you can book on our website, dekkerteam.com. And you can also, sign up for our wealth building workshop on our dekkerteam.com.
Building Wealth Wisely, March 20th. Is that what you mean?
That's what I mean.
That's what he means. So March 20th, Building Wealth Wisely workshop. We may have another one later in the fall. We may not. So get in while the getting in is doable, right?
Yeah. So if you know you've lost that loving feeling for your current residence, for whatever reason, maybe you're renting, maybe you own, but you want to move into something different, and you've got a nice list now of the things you would love about a new home, then we're going to do an in-depth consultation with you. And that's going to start with, if you own a house, we're going to do an equity review so that when you go to your financer to look at mortgaging for the new property, financing for the new property, you're going to know roughly how much equity you have to take forward from your existing home to that. If you're renting, then there's nothing to take forward except for whatever you've saved. So you know that number. So there is no equity review required.
Right. And even if you're doing an equity review, it may just give us the information that we need that you go, but I'd like to keep the one I have as an investment property rather than the other way around. I mean, you can do it either way. Sometimes we do the equity review to get the investment property because what you're saying is, I think I can stay and maybe I can stay in my house a little longer, but I want to do the investment now or vice versa. So there are so many options. That's why Ken's saying maybe a consultation is what you need, which is more like an hour plus or minus, and it can be on Zoom. It doesn't have to be face-to-face. The one great byproduct, I guess, of COVID was that more people are comfortable with Zoom meetings, and it can expedite and speed things up.
Yes.
And make
for everybody.
Make it easier to have that meeting. You don't have to come to the office and spend half an hour getting there and then a half hour getting home and all of that. You can just hop on your Zoom. And so if you want to do that because you're already decided, there is a move in my future. And that's whether it's a few days or whether it's a few months or even a year away. Strategy can't really be too early.
No. And then second, you want to go and get your pre-approval, which means you're going to gather up all your information that the mortgage broker or the bank requires so that they can do a credit check. They can get your letter of employment. They can get all the different things, right? And then they actually approve you for a certain amount of mortgage That's going to allow us then to search in the right price range.
Right, because it's nothing, there's maybe a few things worse, but one of the bad, terrible things we watch clients do is set up searches in the wrong price range. Either too or low too high. It's worse when you search too high, though, because then when you get the reality of the situation and now you're searching in the right price bracket, nothing measures up to the illusion.
What you were looking at.
Right, because it's an illusion. It's not real. And so there's no point in comparing it to something that you never could have afforded or bought anyway. Exactly. So getting the numbers so that you can do it right out of the gate is really helpful.
And you want that full approval because for two reasons. One is interest rates have been on a decline recently. And the nice thing with a pre-approval is if interest rates continue to go down, your rate is locked in, but it will drop if it goes lower. But if for some reason it goes higher, your rate does not go up because you're locked in for a certain number of months. Usually it's 2, 3, 4 months.
Yeah, so as long as you make a move within that length of time.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
And then the other thing you want to do, we talked about the love list, what you'd love about a home or what you want in a home, and you want to have a must-have, which is really the love list. And then the like list is those things that would be nice to have, but they're not deal breakers, right? You want to create a collaborative one, though. If there's 2 of you making the decision or 3 of you making the decision, including older children, not kids, but older teens in the process, can make the whole move in the transition much smoother and easier. I know they're not paying the bills, and yet having some input can add input and contribution to the process and make the whole thing much smoother. That was certainly our experience.
Right.
Right.
And now you've created this beautiful love list of what you would like. And when we find it, that's again why you wanted to have the pre-approval in place, because when opportunity and preparedness meet, that's when success comes, right? If the opportunity comes for a great property at a great price and you're not prepared yet, somebody else will take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, so say that whole premise one more time, because I think often people are frustrated. That's certainly been my experience, that they couldn't seize the opportunity.
Yeah, it's because opportunities show up all the time.
Right.
And if you're not looking for them, then you don't notice them. But when you start looking, because now you have your love list and we've got a custom search set up and we're actively looking for properties for you.
And you have your pre-approval.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying is once we start doing that, if you don't have your pre-approval and the right property comes up and you can't buy it because you're not ready and somebody else puts an offer in, you put your offer in conditional on getting ready and they are already ready and they put their offer in with not having to get ready, they're going to get the property and you're not. So what I was saying was opportunity and preparedness, when they meet, now you have success. If you find opportunity but you're not prepared, you probably won't have success. Someone else will.
Yuck.
Yeah.
And we want success for you.
Yeah. So if this is all sounding exciting and you want to leave your existing residence, call us to get the journey started. And together, we can move forward together, because when we move together, we've got this.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward.